Wasn't exactly a vintage Colombia performance, was it? They didn't have to push too hard against Ghana, who created so little going forward. We'll talk about them in a second. But Marcelo, how far off their A game was Colombia here, doing enough to get through?
I don't think we ever saw third or fourth gear. I mean, to be honest with you, I think they were in control. They came close on a few times, but they never were able to put the game away. And I think if you score one more, you put that game away and it's done. You let Ghana hang in there. But I don't think we've seen the best version of. I thought today was good. They moved it around well. Interesting why Hummus came out at 45 minutes at halftime, which I'm curious to see if he's injured or not. But yeah, this isn't the Colombia. I think they can go still far. This is a good step for them. They got a win. They didn't play great, but this is a team that definitely needs to hit third and fourth gear here.
It wasn't for a lack of trying, though, Ian. They did create a lot of opportunities. I mean, they could have scored 3 or 4 here, but they didn't have that cutting edge in front of goal, did they?
Yeah, it's funny. Marcelo said, second and third gear, they didn't have to really hit full throttle to get through this round, which was largely disappointing. You can only play against the opponent that's right in front of you, and Colombia did exactly what they needed to do to get through it. They rested James Rodriguez, which is a bonus for them. They didn't concede another goal. I mean, that's ridiculous defensive display again. It's, 3 consecutive now for them, which is brilliant to see going into the next round. But again, I still want to see more from Colombia. I know they didn't have to be at full throttle, but I'm still waiting for them to get there. There isn't really that clinical finishing when it comes to the final third. Obviously, there were some good individual performances. Both fullbacks played very well, offensively and defensively. And then Lucho was very good. Lucho Diaz was very good when he picked up possession of the ball. Hungry, maybe lacking a bit of his quality that we have seen previously. But they're a good side, Colombia. Very good team, very much in control. Didn't have to be at their best. Kind of made it look easy.
We talked about Lucho Diaz a lot on our network throughout the season in the Champions League, watching him for Bayern Munich. And often we said, didn't we, that the way that team sets up gets the best out of him. Do you think this Colombia team is set up in the right way to get the best out of someone with so much talent? Yeah,
I think so. I think when you look at all the chances he had down the left-hand side, every game he's close to scoring a goal, finally getting that goal. So, I mean, you've watched him. He's isolating himself. He's getting one-on-ones. He's getting shots in. He's getting crosses in. So it's much different when you're playing for club at Bayern. You have special players around you. When you're with the national team,
Kane and Elise is not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. So when you've got your national team, I think he relies on Hummus to feed him the ball a lot, and kind of like that. Nunez on the other side does a nice job. But I thought Diaz was probably one of the more dangerous players and the most consistent player over the last 4 games for Colombia.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let me answer that one real quickly, Adam, because he was the one who had most contacts of the ball in the opposition box. He was the one that obviously was trying his hardest to get that goal. And a couple of shots on target from him was very good. I love the connection you talk about with James Rodriguez, right? When James is on his game, you almost see Lucho Diaz a little bit more effective in matches as well. Little passes in behind, gets him the ball in the right areas. And to answer your question, it's very similar to what you see at Bayern. He picks the ball up in a similar position. He runs 1v1. He tries to get on that right foot, and he'll always try to have a pop at goal. But actually, sometimes the benefit is the players around him who get a bit more time. John Arias, right, if you saw his goal there, he was completely unmarked, and that's because Luis Diaz dragged so many people around, and it gave the space for Arias to find completely open space inside that penalty area to get the opening goal. And a credit to Colombia for doing so as well. The substitute, Luis Suarez, with a beautiful delivery. But I just think there's so much emphasis on Colombia doing so well now at this tournament because they've got to the stage. Defensively, they're not conceding goals. But if they want to really go deep, if they really want to go and create some history, they really need to hit that full throttle offensively.
We're talking offensively, but they also have a solid foundation defensively. Lukumi, Sanchez in that, the middle of the defence. Munoz, as we talked before the game, has been brilliant in that wing-back position, really pushing forward, almost playing like a winger in a lot of these games. Nestor Lorenzo, I think, is due credit, isn't he, for setting this team up, building from the back as well?
I think so. Listen, in order to win games, you've got to defend well. In order for you to keep advancing, you got to defend well. They didn't give up a goal tonight. That's impressive for this team. And the only thing they're missing, the hardest thing in soccer or in football, is putting the ball in the back of the net. And that's why the guys up front get paid millions of dollars to do that. But in order to keep progressing in this tournament, you can't give up goals. And I think they've got that side of it. Nestor's done a nice job of making that their solid foundation. And I think that's huge in a tournament like this. But when you're missing that killer instinct, when you're missing that, I need to put this in. You put a second one in, the game's done. You put a third one, the game's even closer to being done. So I look at this and say, you can't teach everybody to defend all the time, but this group defends well. And I think that's their strength right now. Putting the ball in the back of the net, it's getting there, and you keep progressing. It's not like they've got Argentina next. They've got to go to Switzerland. They got to play Switzerland next.
Tough team.
A tough team, but I think that'll be a good challenge. But they're very stingy when they play. They're very stingy defensively. And I guess for me, when I look at this team, I say killer instinct in front of the goal. That's all they're missing.
Yeah. I want to say that the 3 consecutive clean sheets that they've had now is the first time they've ever had that at a FIFA World Cup. That's tremendously important to building success. And it also allows your players to go play, right? They haven't been at their best, obviously, offensively. We want to see more goals, obviously. But only conceding 1 goal, that goal came against Uzbekistan. I mean, that's super impressive at this FIFA World Cup. You can only beat the team that's in front of you. And offensively, I would imagine they'll get better and better. Now you've got to be better, right? You're going up against Swiss side, who are very comfortable in Canada, by the way. I think this is going to be a big challenge for them. And as they come to the closing stages, Cello is right. There is enough quality there to go create some real good history with this group. Can they win it? I haven't seen enough to say that they can win this World Cup. Can they reach a final? I haven't seen enough just yet. But they can definitely reach the Final Four if they continue to improve.
We'll preview that game against Switzerland a little bit later. I mentioned Munoz, the fullback, wing-back. Is he a good example of exactly how that position has developed, even since you guys have played to the modern game? Had a wonderful season with Crystal Palace, lifted a European trophy, didn't he? Now doing a similar kind of role for his national side. Compared to the fullbacks, and Ian, you were a fullback, even 10 years ago, what they look like now, they're effectively a midfielder, aren't they, playing at the back?
Well, that fluid 4, if you want to go with, one guy goes, one guy slides in. You know, it was interesting. I was watching over the years how, and there was a statistics, how soccer has changed over the last 10 years. And when I played, and even the generations of the 2010 in there, the majority of the touches came from the midfielders, the 6, the 8, the 10, the 9. And now in world football, the center backs are usually the 2 guys that have the most touches. The wing backs are the next ones up. So, yeah, they've got to be the Nunez of the world. You've got to be able to attack. You've got to be able to get up there and score goals. He's got goals already in this World Cup. So, Serginho Dest, I think that's another modern player. You look at Jedi, another modern player that has to get up and back. So, when you look at Nunez, I look at a guy who loves to go forward but loves to defend. And those are the kind of players you want on that, because he takes pride in defending, but he also takes pride in getting into the offensive side of it. So for me, it's just these guys on the outside are your creators now, so they have to be special.
Yeah, he's a key player for them, isn't he?
It's safe to say that the fullback position is no longer. I mean, to play that position now, you have to be a winger. You have to be very comfortable in possession of the ball, and you have to have a terrific engine. You've got to run up and down that wing as much as you possibly can. You have to be an outlet whenever the winger pushes inside, which happens the majority of times now, and then you have to be that defender that can recover. Obviously, the names you just mentioned there, most of them are incredibly fast. Recovery is everything now when it comes to the beautiful game. It's just changing so much. I mean, it's changed from my generation. I learned from his generation, and he learned from a previous generation. The game continuously evolves, and this right now is a unique style of football. It's not necessarily always pleasing on the eye. This tiki-taka style of football, every team tries to play it. But I mean, Ghana tried to play it with what?
But there's
nothing, no finish.
It's the 10. You're missing the 10.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Where's the
traditional
creators?
guy. Exactly. They're on the outside now.
Yeah.
Luis Diaz, those are the creators now. That's why when you see Nunez, you see Diaz, you see some of the Olise when he's playing out Dembele. Ballon
Even
d'Or
Mbappe
winner,
you can throw in there,
Mbappe
right?
slides to the outside. So the modern day, which I love, is you got pace and you've got skill on the outside, and they're making things happen. But I do miss, I'm not going to lie, I do miss a 10. I do miss the Messis of the world, the Valderramas of the world, the Zidans of the world. I miss those guys being able to slice and dice through.
Such an interesting conversation about how the game has moved on into the modern world. Time for a short break here on Scoreline 48 Nations, presented by BetMGM. We'll see you in a couple of minutes for plenty more.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Scoreline 48 Nations presented by BetMGM. So Colombia through to the round of 16 after a 1-0 win against Ghana in Kansas City. John Arias with the only goal pretty early on in the first half. And next they will face Switzerland in that round of 16 to try and take their spot in the quarterfinals. Switzerland beating Algeria 2-0 in their round of 32 game to reach this stage. And this, I think, to the uneducated football viewer, may necessarily have looked at this game and thought, well, maybe one of the easier draws into the round of 16. But I would say, Ian, far from it, given some of the quality that Switzerland have and the way they've played at this World Cup so far.
Yeah, listen, first and foremost, this will be a great game to watch because realistically, we have no idea which Colombia will turn up. I think if I was looking on paper, if Colombia turn up on their day, they should be able to beat the Switzerland side, but you're going to have to be at your very best to be able to do so. Very well-oiled machine, very well run. Murat Yakin has this team incredibly well organised. Every single position has a mix of experience and youth in that whole roster. So they can swap out players at any given time and basically not even miss a beat. They've got a tremendous talent in midfield who's running the show. Manzambi has been absolutely terrific. Fullbacks who love to get forward. And of course, Zakaria has been the one who's been playing right fullback at times for the Swiss side, which is interesting for me enough to see. I've seen him play Gladbach a couple of times in that right fullback position. But you've got so much experience in the ranks there. The one player that really stood out for me outside of Manzambi has been Bril Mbolo. He's been scoring goals and also assisting and sort of rejuvenated in some way. He's healthy, finally found some consistency in French football at Rennes. And playing for the Swiss team, you've got to be performing well. Because if you're not, very quickly you find yourself out the team. They're that good.
There's always players, Cello, aren't there, that emerge for a national side at a World Cup and announce themselves on the world stage. Obviously, Manzambi was known prior to this World Cup, but I think this is what's really catapulted him to another level What have you noticed that you really like about the way that he plays? Yeah, it's his coming out party.
So that's what the World Cup's about. You know what I mean? 200 minutes, 3 goals, 2 assists. Even yesterday, the assist he gives to Mbudu, was fantastic. Beats a guy, cuts it back, and it hits right at his foot. So I think what we've seen from this guy is the confidence. Confidence of running at players, going at people, shooting from distance, being able to put the ball in the back of the net. But I think we're finally seeing that this is my team. I'm going to pull the strings. I'm going to be the guy on this team that can lead us. So, and I think it is. It is a very well-organized team. It's a very well-disciplined team that can defend very well. But again, we'll see when you face a Colombia how you react and how you do. And like I said, this is probably one of the more exciting games, I think, coming up.
He's an end product player, isn't he, Ian Manzambi?
Fabulous player. Best player at Freiburg this season in the Bundesliga. I spoke to their assistant manager, Florian Bruns, and he's a former teammate of mine in Germany. And he's incredibly high on this kid. They think the price tag now is probably reaching 60 to 70 million. There's only one club.
My Newcastle are going to have
they saw those Saudi dollars and they're thinking,
find those,
maybe there's a chance.
Dollars.
Listen, he's 20 years old. Let's not forget that. Yeah. This is a young kid who's balling out here. Maybe the benefit that he's having right now is the fact that he probably doesn't recognise the occasion that he's playing at. He's actually out there enjoying his football right now. When you're a bit older, expectations a lot higher. You start to process it a little bit more. You've been there before, so you know and feel the pressure.
When you $70 million puts pressure on you, you have to perform.
Yeah.
It's different than where he's at now. In fact, I get that, but and this is what's interesting to me is after the World Cup, you see a player play 5 or 6 games, boom, here's $100 million. Then he goes to the club team and he can't perform, or he's not performing, he's not living up to it. So I think sometimes the pressure of being that guy, $70 million would put a lot of pressure on me having to perform day in and day out.
He doesn't recognise, in my opinion, how good he is. Does that make sense? Like, he's out there playing. And I've been lucky enough to watch him play, and I actually saw him coming through the ranks at Freiburg. He came through the youth system there. He could have gone on to play for DR Congo. He could have gone on to play for Angola, where both of his parents are obviously from as well, but chose to play for Switzerland, which I absolutely love. But actually coming through that system at Freiburg, there's not as much pressure. It's almost as if you're given the tools to be able to go perform and enjoy your football. There's no expectation on the team. If you get European football, great. Obviously, you saw the success Freiburg had in competition this year, getting to a final, even though it wasn't a great performance. But this is a kid who's benefited massively from the support system of a young coach and an excellent team. But also in the Swiss team, as Cello pointed out, he's actually running the show. Now, a 20-year-old who's got experienced players, of course, Nico Elvedia along that back line. We obviously know the quality they've got with Brillambolo up top, Rodriguez left fullback. Experience is all around him, and as a young player coming through, you need that. But I think sometimes it's also just about letting yourself express yourself, and that's, I think, what we've seen from him at this World Cup. He's really enjoying himself. Best player for Freiburg in the Bundesliga this season, without a question of a doubt.
From the Colombia perspective, Cello, and this actually surprised us when we were prepping for this section, because we don't just throw these things together, do we? Colombia's record in the knockout stages at World Cups perhaps isn't as impressive as you might have thought, given, a really proud footballing nation from South America. They've had so many great players down the years. But the best they've done is, of course, back in 2014, getting to the quarterfinals. What do you put this down to?
Oh, I think pressure. I think pressure from the country, from all the people. When you walk into the stadium, it was a sea of yellow. I think the tradition of what this team had, listen, you go back to '94, this was a team that was the #1 team coming out of South America. And ever since then, I think you've been trying to live up to that generation. And when you get to a certain point, if you're in CONMEBOL, you're facing the best player day in and day out, and you face him in the final, you lose in the final. So I look at it as it's a lot of pressure, because since that generation, you're talking about Hummus has been the guy. He's got all the focus on him. He's the one that has to drive this machine, and that's sometimes a lot of pressure for one player. Now it's Luis Diaz. He's getting a little bit of that pressure, but I think this is probably one of the most connected, one of the most solid teams that I've seen from front to back. Not a lot of weaknesses. Right side, they're good. The left side, they're good down the middle. So, like I said, I think the biggest thing that hurts them is the pressure they have from back home.
Do you think, Ian, as you said, if both teams turn up, you probably would shade Colombia against Switzerland, although, as we've said, Switzerland do have their weapons.
Yeah.
What is success for Colombia at this World Cup? Quarterfinals, would they be happy with that?
Probably Cello could answer that better than I could, having watched all their qualifiers.
Yeah, expectation.
Like, what is the expectation?
It's a final.
Got to win.
Listen, Colombia's a proud country, and they believe in their team. They support it. They feel that this team can reach a final. Can they beat Argentina? Yeah, they can. That's how they feel. And I think that's the right mentality to come into this. But again, you've got to get step by step. And I feel that they're growing. That's why I have them as my dark horse. When you see them play in Common Bowl, you're like, okay, this team has that confidence, and it's there. But listen, it's always a hard road. But this is a team that watching them play throughout the last year, they've got something special.
If they play like this, they'll lose against Switzerland.
Yeah.
They're too good.
It doesn't fill me with the way they played there, and I know they kept a clean sheet, which is a box ticked. They scored a goal, box ticked. But it doesn't fill you with that much confidence, personally.
Tell me who does, Adam. Tell me who fills you with confidence. Who checks all the boxes
England.
right now?
England.
Oh, my Lord.
They're checking it.
Okay,
France.
well, good. Hey, thanks. Good show.
France, Spain.
Okay. Spain checks all the boxes now.
No, it doesn't check all the boxes,
Okay.
but you're saying who fills me with confidence?
Yeah.
France,
Okay.
Spain. Well, I would have said before the Cape Verde game, Argentina.
This is my point.
Yeah.
This is my point. All these teams are building right now. Every week, I feel like we're putting, except for France, put France up top.
Yep.
France is always here, but it's in Argentina, then it's Spain, then it's maybe Colombia, you know what I mean? And then maybe it's England. So I think that top level right now is just consistency is France.
Yeah.
After that, I think any given
The
day,
rest,
any game, we can swap number 2, 3, and 4, depending on how they play today. So I don't know if there's any other team right now that you look at that says, okay, they're consistent, they've got enough threats, and they're probably going to get to the final.
I don't think that this team has a killer instinct in front of goal.
Yeah.
You know, they have a lot of quality around the number 9 position, Cello. When you look at Lucho Diaz, a lot of the time he'll go solo, right? Yeah. He'll go to goal himself. He'll try to take on that fullback, cut inside and go for goal. James Rodriguez is always looking for that killer pass. Luis Suarez was tried in that position, didn't quite work out. Better off the bench, good cross from him. But actually that killer instinct in and around that penalty area that you probably need to win a World Cup or maybe even get to a World Cup final, I feel like it's lacking. This game, they should have scored 4 or 5 goals.
100%.
But they're just lacking that.
I tell you what,
which is
do you think they're better than Brazil from what we've seen so far? Who would you put more? Have you got more faith in Brazil or more faith in Colombia?
God, right now, I would say you could flip a coin today and go like this, and it's Brazil. Tomorrow, it's Colombia, depending on who shows up to play.
We're asking the guy sat in the Argentina show that question.
I'm not picking Brazil. I'm trying to be politically correct here.
Ian, go on then. We haven't got time. We're going to a short break. Scoreline presented by BetMGM. And we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in 2 worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And we live the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount+.
Welcome back to Scoreline, presented by BetMGM. What a World Cup we've enjoyed so far, and what a round of 32. So many great stories. Paraguay getting past Germany, the former champions. Morocco as well. What a game they did, coming back to beat the Netherlands to take their place in the round of 16 as well. And who can forget the US beating Bosnia in that entertaining fixture as well. Guys, what's been so special about this World Cup? You've obviously been involved in many World Cups in the past. What's been special about this one so far, Marcelo?
You know, I think that we started 32 years ago. We started this journey of getting respect all over the world for our football, the way we were going to play, the way we wanted to be involved with it. It wasn't a global sport for us. It was a sport that when you looked at the United States in '94, people didn't know what it was. They didn't know what to call it soccer. They were joking around with football. And where we've come from, no, I know, but where we've come from and where we're at, from a culture side, how we've accepted and how people have accepted the World Cup, how much we've grown as a country in soccer, players playing all over Europe, something that we didn't have in 90, opportunities that we've never had before, and how it's grown in 32 years. It's been wonderful to see that full circle come around, where the U.S. is playing in Seattle and New York. There's 1,000 people watching the game. In Chicago, all over the country, they're supporting the sport that we love, that we've played, and that we grew up as kids with a soccer ball, you know what I mean? So it's wonderful to see how far we've grown in 32 years and how much further we have to go, but it's been a great World Cup.
Do you know, for me, my journey was obviously a controversial one. Obviously, I went from the US to Scotland very quickly and grew up in Scotland, and obviously admired what the US team did in '90 and then '94. And for me, you know, obviously getting to work alongside people like Cello and my good friend Eric Ronaldo, Alexi Lalas, obviously these guys are all legends to me. So the world has become very small for me, being able to stand next to people like Cello. But also a story personally to me is Cello's father was actually the one who scouted me to go play for the US youth national team. So the family means a lot to me as well. But it shows you that it's a small world that can become a giant opening for fans and people and humans to enjoy the game in this country. And what I'm seeing right now is that there are supporters of other sports in the United States of America that previously didn't really know much about soccer, even up to this year now, are now starting to fall in love with soccer because of the beautiful stories that are happening around the game. You've got incredible stories from Jesse Marsh going to coach Canada, which is absolutely insane in my brain. Cabo Verde, 40-year-old goalkeeper, 18 million followers on Instagram, which is absolutely insane. Morocco, Netherlands, penalty kick shootout, drama galore. Argentina, the world champions, going up against Cabo Verde. I mean, it's the World Cup that just keeps on giving. To me, it was the same when I was a young boy watching this generation play football. But now it's on a much more gigantic stage than ever before. The whole world is paying attention and actually falling in love with our country, which I love too.
You left Scotland drinking Boston Dry off that list there. So we've each picked our story of the round of 32. Cello, you get to go first.
I'm going to go with the U.S., only because of the journey we've had. You know, when Pochettino took the job, everybody was excited, but there was a bunch of bumps. And, you know, you go to Nations League, you don't get the result. And there was a lot of criticism throughout the way. So everybody's been questioning what the U.S. can do. We've been waiting for this team to come together. We didn't see it against Belgium. We didn't see it against Senegal, but we saw glimpses of hope. Then you go to Germany. Now you see a lot more than what we wanted to see. all of a sudden the World Cup starts and this country went crazy. Absolutely crazy for these young men for performing and doing what we thought they could do. This is a team we all believed in. We believe they can reach a quarterfinals. We believe they can reach a semifinal. But to see a country come together and you see people who have never even played soccer or football, whatever you want to go with, and they're in the bar cheering. They're wearing the USA jersey. So this team to me has been a great story because of the fact of what it's done for this country and what it's done for our sport.
Brilliant. Well said. Ian, what have you chosen?
It's truly amazing what a World Cup can do to a generation of players and a nation and a national team, but also for the supporters. I love the beautiful game. I want to see entertaining games. I want to see action, drama, and there were few better games, I think, than in this previous round than watching this Morocco side take out the Netherlands.
The comeback.
It was an amazing comeback. It was an amazing performance. Went to penalty kicks. It was the first time ever in FIFA World Cup history that there was 3 penalty kicks that struck the woodwork, and obviously one went wide. It was an amazing spectacle. And I think what we're witnessing is these games sometimes are just thrown at us where you just don't really expect it. This one, I kind of drew it up. I was hoping that this was going to be the game. On paper, it looked like it was an absolute banger, and it lived up to the expectation. But I'm incredibly high on this Morocco side. There is no reason to me why this Morocco side cannot reach a FIFA World Cup final. They tick the boxes on absolutely every part of the field. They've got an excellent coach as well. And they've got an excellent bench. They've got 40 players who are not even in this roster who can still be competitive. But the way they went about their business against the Netherlands, I think they took their game to another level. And confidence growing after winning a penalty kick shootout in a competition style, it brings confidence. You get back into that locker room, the celebration, and all of a sudden you're starting to believe that something magical could potentially happen. They are actually as close as I could get to in this World Cup that can compete with what we're seeing with France. And they are not a team that everyone's speaking about of potentially winning a World Cup or even getting to a final. So they'll quietly fly underneath the radar. But they've been so impressive to me, Adam. They're my standout performers so far outside of the French.
They certainly are. Well, you've kind of stolen my thunder there because I've gone for the least surprising story in the round of 32, which is France. I just think this team has shown us that they're the only team in the World Cup so far that have that extra gear. They have the 6th gear that no one else has got. Unbelievable in their game in the round of 32, as they were in terms of attacking talent in the group stages as well. So good. And when you consider that you've got Mbappe pushing Messi for the Golden Boot at this World Cup. You've got Dembele, who's on 4 goals. You've got Michael Olise, who's setting up goals. He's got 5 so far at this tournament. And also, when you consider Désiré Doué, who was the man of the match in not the last Champions League final, but the one before that, played pretty well in this Champions League final, leads the line for PSG. He's on the bench. And you've got Bradley Barcola, who's playing brilliantly too. I just think they're unstoppable going forward. And I think they've shown the rest of this competition the level that you need to try to find between now and the final. Otherwise, they're going to win the World Cup. Do you guys disagree with me?
I don't think you can. I mean, they're so consistent right now. And if Mbappe's not playing, where you got Olise, Olisi's not. You've got 3 threats, and you've got guys coming off the bench. Listen, I think when we walked in, when the World Cup started, I think we all kind of agreed. We had 4 or 5 teams, but the cream rises to the top.
Yeah.
They have been, and it's hard to say Argentina, and you don't want to see, but this team is probably the most depth, consistent team that I've seen in this World Cup. So yeah, they scare me a little bit right now.
Great coach. You got some of the obviously the very
for their coach after
sad storylines with his mother passing away. It just seems like a united group. We've seen that cost France in the past. Remember 2010, the boys on the bus and all that.
The goalkeeper is the only one that scares me.
Best storyline, France. Are you having a laugh? I have a feeling.
It was an open question.
I have a feeling, honestly, that because of your chateau in France and because you've got a yacht in the south of France, this must be for tax purposes or something like that.
We've got to keep them happy.
Is choosing France. Of course you're choosing France. You're bringing Doué and Mateta and Cherki off the bench. Best storyline.
We could choose anything we wanted. The producer told us we could choose whatever we wanted, so I did.
My word.
So I did. Right, we've got plenty more games to look forward to in the round of 16, which is beginning, and we will keep you right up to date with the 2 big games tomorrow. Remember, we've got one of the co-hosts, Canada, playing on Saturday, the 4th of July. Morning Footy gets it all underway at 10 a.m. Eastern. Golazo Matchday will be here for you at 3 p.m. Eastern, and then we'll wrap up the day with Scoreline 48 Nations, 7 p.m. Eastern. So keep it locked on Golazo
Did you just say
Network.
The 4th of July? Did you just look at your watch?
Well, no, then I noticed that the date's wrong.
Is that a French watch as
I
well?
have to remember.
French watch, yeah?
Thank you very much for joining Scoreline.
Au revoir.
By BetMGM. Au revoir et adieu.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the